Really enjoyed my trip. Really enjoyed my trip to Nebraska. Really enjoyed my trip to Nebraska. So, anybody see any good movies lately?
Not really, no.
Oh. Read any good books?
Nope.
No. Nope. Anything new with corn?
Oh, yeah, corn.
Corn.
Oh, yeah, corn, you bet.
Corn, absolutely. Corn, yeah, absolutely.
Corn is always...
Come a-running, boys, don't you hear the noise? Like the thunder in the sky. How it rolls along in a good old song from the sons of Nebraska. Now it's coming near with a rising cheer that'll sweep all foes away. So with all our vim, we're bound to win, and we're going to win today. In the days of old, Johnny Bender bold would just take that ball in hand, and with Benedict right in front of him, they would set sail for the land. Then Doc Eager too, with a chosen few, would be all round everywhere. And before they quit, they would calmly sit down behind that goal post there. For Nebraska and the Scarlet, for Nebraska and the Cream, though they go through many battles, our colors still are seen. And so in contest and in victory, we will wave them for the team, and we'll always stir a cornhusker, the Scarlet and the Cream.
Alright, what's up everybody? I'm Matt.
I'm Jerry.
We are Two Average Guys. Welcome back to the show.
Sorry, we're on our road today.
What to talk about? You know,
Volleyball, 30-0.
volleyball. They're absolute stellar
Undefeated season. Let's go.
This is by far, without a doubt, the best volleyball team that I have watched for Nebraska.
Which is crazy because you think first year after Cook leaves, retires, that you take a step back.
Yeah, now you also know that Danny was left with an absolute stellar roster.
And it's not like she's a first-time head coach.
And she's a bad coach either, so she has her history with Louisville, absolutely incredible
Exactly.
too. So, I mean, they didn't just sweep Penn State. For one, they swept them twice this year. They dominated Penn State. And then last night, they didn't
I watched
even...
it last night, I caught a little bit of
They
it. Right.
swept Ohio State the last game, the third game. They won 25-20, but they had no starters in the last game. Maisie was our libero the entire night, and they absolutely just she's a senior, absolutely just dominated. Like, fun to watch. Those girls are incredible. So 30-0 on the regular season. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I think it's the third time they've had an undefeated season where they've gone, but they only lost one set in Big Ten play. And one set, and that was to UCLA. One set. And then they also went from like September 15th, the UCLA matchup, only losing 2 sets to Creighton prior to that. And so
They lost 2 sets to Creighton, and they reverse swept Kentucky.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is, I guess, really their only big test of the year, but
Like,
not really, because everybody's good.
But absolutely just like incredible what they've done this year. Really hope for good things going into the tournament, and hope for them to be able to come out on top and win another championship. That'd be incredible.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Give us something to be excited about for Nebraska sports, right?
Hey, basketball's 7-0.
Hey, 8-0.
Or 8-0.
Basketball's 8-0. We don't pay attention to basketball, but
Not
we know
really.
they're 8-0. And, we're not too far from baseball starting, so something to get excited about for us baseball
They
fans.
won the Big Ten last year.
They did.
Tournament.
Yes.
They weren't very good.
They weren't very, So, but let's get back. We'll talk about football here. So, it's hard to talk about the Iowa-Nebraska matchup because, I think we can't call it a rivalry right now when we're not winning any of the games.
Not if they won 10 out of the last 11.
And we haven't won at home against them since 2011. How sad is that? 2011 is the last time we beat Iowa at home. Kirk Ferentz has more wins at Memorial Stadium than our previous 3 head coaches, including Matt Rule. He's got like 8 wins there, and all those coaches have 6 or 7 wins. The last coach to win more than that was Bo Pelini. Like that's bad. That's really bad. So we gotta change something. We gotta do something different. I was at the game. Fun. Not that cold. I bundled up enough, but it's kind of cool. Like I enjoyed like the snow falling during the game. Like that was kind of cool to see. I've never been to a game where it snowed, so that was kind of fun just to be there. But
the start was good.
Yeah, I mean, really the first quarter. I mean,
the first quarter. Actually, the first quarter, and really, the first half wasn't. It was pretty fun to watch. Definitely the first quarter.
Well, we were down 23-16 at half.
Yeah, because it was 17-16. They got a late touchdown, but no, I mean, just we were talking about on Thanksgiving. We're like, this is going to be another 13-10 game, and we took a 13-10 lead, and it was like, this is the same amount of points we scored the last 2. The teams have scored the last 2 games, and we already have it like at the end of the first quarter, partway through the second quarter, whatever it was. It was back and forth. It was kind of a fun game. It was like, man, I thought their quarterback could only run. He was able to throw a little bit.
They had a couple of receivers that made some really good catches. Mm-hmm. Really good. Like he put one. It was almost a touchdown. He kind of like the 1 or 2 yard line. I mean, absolutely incredible catch. That defense, our defender was right on.
Mm-hmm.
He was a little behind, but if he was any closer, it would have been PI.
That's when I turned the game off.
Yeah. So I just, it's one of those things where we got to change something to like our second half. Again, it's our second quarter, our third quarter. We're just not good. Well, just the whole rest of the game wasn't good. But second, third quarter is really where we kind of just stopped on offense and stalled out.
Well, in the middle 8 or whatever they call that, the last few minutes of the second quarter and started the third, that's when they took advantage. And I mean, it was 17-16 before that, and then it was 33-16 after that.
Yeah.
With another touchdown right at the end of the third quarter. So.
Yep. They get the safety. That was a big swing.
That was the biggest swing of the game.
Yep.
Sorry to say, it was targeting.
100%.
We should have brought that back. We should have had a first down and set it down by 10 with them getting the ball, which they scored a touchdown on, if I'm not mistaken. It was a 9 game.
Yeah, 9 points.
Yeah, I mean, it was an 8-point game at that point. The officials were terrible, but that doesn't mean that we were good. We weren't good.
No, the officials were not good all game.
I mean, EJ was good, and that was about it.
Yeah, that was the only bright spot. Is Emmett Johnson 281 all-purpose yards, something like that.
217 rushing yards.
Yeah, so like absolutely incredible game by him. But to have nothing else working on offense, Tito Latif was 9 for 24.
He got hurt. That really
help.
Really handcuffed us offensively.
Yeah.
He couldn't run. That essentially turned him into
Pass.
without Dylan's brain, really.
Yeah.
I mean, without his
IQ.
IQ.
We also dropped like 3 or 4 passes. Yep. One was in the end zone, and the other 2 were first. And the other 2, he had 2 drops that were first downs. Mm-hmm. I mean, those are game changers right there.
When he dropped the first one, I was like, that has to be caught if you want to win a game like this.
Yep.
We're gonna have to steal a game like this. I mean, we really, with a bad quarterback against a team that we never beat. He dropped it, and I'm like, man, you gotta have that.
Yeah.
And then Clark drops it in the end zone, and I'm like, you're a foot taller than the guy.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Got hands on it.
And then he had another drop that was, I think, on a second and long or
third and long
or something.
Yeah.
And it was like, those are just killer.
Yeah, and we were,
especially because we couldn't get off the field on defense.
We were a little more aggressive on our third down plays, which I like to see. But again, when you're not making those catches, it kills you.
TJ can't really roll out effectively or have that threat of running, they could play zone, and they were fine.
Yep. Again, Emmett Johnson, I mean, absolute stud to go out the way he did. He had almost 1,900 all-purpose yards this year.
Most out of any running back, I think.
Yeah, by far our best running back that we've had in a long time.
For sure. I meant in college football this
year. Yeah.
I know he didn't lead in rushing. I think he was
second or third,
overall rushing.
I think he led the Big Ten though.
Yeah, I can't remember who the other two guys were. But
Justice Haynes was up there for a while, but he didn't play.
Jeremiah Love was fourth, but their last couple games they didn't really play.
Yeah.
So
I think
they didn't really need him to.
We talk about a bright spot. Emma Johnson, I mean, there's a lot of talk about, does he come back next year? Does he even, I saw something about him not playing in a bowl game, but it looked like an AI written article. Didn't come from his mouth. But to me, it's like, yeah, the guy should go to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, they showed him with his family on the field crying and whatever. I mean, he's not, I don't think he's going to transfer. There's no point. He's already proven himself. There's no reason really for him to come back.
His draft stock is here.
It is. And if he plays another season, he could get hurt, or he could take a step back. We have a very tough schedule next year. We better figure something out pretty quick. There's no reason that he needs to come back.
Yeah, I think that
sucks. I love him too, but
yeah, I think it's the biggest thing. I mean, almost 2,000 all-purpose yards this year. He's got 1 year left of eligibility, but again, at this point,
for running backs in the league are not that long.
And as a guy that's probably getting NFL execs already looking at him, for a team that had a 7-5 record, that 5 of those wins were because of him.
Yes.
I don't know why he wouldn't go to the NFL when I guarantee he's getting calls from NFL execs already saying, hey, we want you in the league. We're interested in you. He's
probably like a third, maybe fourth round.
Maybe
sooner.
He's an Abdullah Burkhead combination where Abdullah had the speed. He had some moves, but I feel like Rex was a little more shifty.
But could also kind of blow guys up.
Yeah. So I feel like EJ's kind of that mixture of those two guys.
For sure.
And he's going to be able to make some waves in the NFL. I hope he does. I really hope he gets that opportunity. Gets drafted, maybe second, third round for a running back. But he's got to be up there on the board. I guarantee he's going to go. So if he doesn't play, he doesn't play. Again, it doesn't. We're 7-5. Like, I don't care if we're to go 8-5. Great with a bowl win. If we go 7-6, again, does it make a difference on the success of the season? No,
not really. Last year when it was 6-6, and we go to a bowl game and it was New York City, it's raining, whatever. It was kind of a sloshy game, kind of a bad game. We got a big lead, and then kind of held on for the win. It was kind of fun to get that win. It was like, okay, we got to a bowl game for the first time in like 10 years, and then we win. Now it's like these last couple games really took the wind out, and we're gonna go to a crappy bowl game, and who knows who we end up. I've seen a few different things, but about who we could play. My dad was like, I saw one that said Utah. I'm like, I sure hope not.
Sure hope not. I also said LSU's a possibility.
I mean, I think they have the same record, 7-5.
Yeah, but I think under Matt Rule, 3 years, it's 2-10 in November. If you're not winning games in November, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to turn things around late in the year and be at our best football rather than still trying to figure things out. And we've talked about it for weeks now. There's things that's like, have we not been watching film? Because we've made zero adjustments on defense.
Man, I tell you what, we were talking about how we needed to have a spy on both sides of the field, or at least a spy. Yeah. They showed one of Gronowski's touchdowns, I think, to make it 33-16, and you knew they were at the 5 or whatever, inside the 10, and we had nobody in the middle of the field. There was one guy off to the side. They even showed the replay. The announcers, they're like, watch this block here, and they had 1, 2, 3 guys lead for him, and we had one guy that was off to the side that the first guy kind of didn't even really have to hit, and the other two, it was like they ran through and didn't have to hit anybody. And they were like, well, that was good blocking. It was just really well schemed. And I'm like, we have nobody in the middle of the field. We have a running quarterback.
Yep. but this has been Nebraska football all year. Like, we've faced running quarterbacks with UCLA, with USC, with Penn State, with Iowa. Like, it's not the first time we faced a rushing quarterback, and we've never figured it out. It was
almost like the best time of the year that we did, and which wasn't even great because he still ran on us, was Cincinnati. Yeah. We just were able to keep him in check, sort of.
Well, it just happened to be the first game of the year.
And it happened to be the first game of the year. If we would have played them the third game of the year, they would have beat us by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't think we won that game. So, again, it's at some point, I'm looking at in the next couple weeks. Here's what I want to see from that rule as a head coach. Number one, Donovan Raiola, you're gone. You need to go. Like, we cannot continue to have an offensive line that gives up 30 sacks a year. You cannot win in the Big Ten if you're giving up 30 sacks a year. And then next is John Butler. If you're not fired, you better be a coordinator, a position coach. And we need to get a D coordinator in there that knows what the hell they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot continue to, for one, run a 3-3-5. That's got to go.
Over it.
Two, Tony White ran a 3-3-5 and was successful. You know why? Because he changed shit up. It wasn't the same thing over and over again. But even then, was he successful? We were still 6-6 last year. So, like,
Right.
yes and no. Like, you can probably say, our defense, maybe our skill guys were a little bit better, but we still have some youth on the defense. But we cannot continue to run a 3-3-5. We need 4 guys up on the line. We need at least 3 linebackers, if not 4. Run a 4-3-4. Or 4-4-3, whatever you got to do. We got to change something up. Stop playing so much zone. Play more man D. We got the guys on the defensive side of the ball to play man. We just never do it. But those are the 2 coaches that we need to make a change.
Yeah, we have to.
We bring in Eckler, turns around special teams.
Won us a couple games.
Fantastic job. And this Iowa game, I don't know what happened because it's like everything we did earlier in the year in special teams went out the window. We caught the ball at the 5-yard line, decided to run it out. We caught the ball in the end zone, decided to run it out. We muffed a punt. Like, we just weren't good.
He either Marty, I don't know if they're, because my mind's going 100 miles an hour. I don't know if they're telling him this or telling him that, or if he is just trying to make a play in a game like that. Maybe they're saying, like, if you have the opportunity to make a game-changing play, if you see it, and on the one before he muffed it that he got targeted on, the guy made a great play, great tackle. He spun off them and the guy just barely got him. He could have maybe gone, maybe not for the house, but he could have had a big return on that. So, I mean, I get it, but at some point, like we've said, like, give them a pat on the back if they down it at the 1, if their quarterback throws for a touchdown. But you have to play smart on it and, like, let it go sometimes. Like, stop the quarterback run and let him beat you with a pass. Yeah. You can't just let him do what they want to do.
Yeah. And so I think that was our worst special teams game. Our first punt, Archie kicks it to Wetchin. Like, that's the one. You don't kick it to him. Kick it away from him. Anywhere but to him. It was a short punt. And then he runs it for 40 yards. And then Archie gets a face mask. Now they're up to the 25-yard line. It's like we just gave it to him where we kicked the ball from. Like, that's not good. No. So that was a huge mistake on special teams. But that was the worst game we had special teams wise, and I think that was the personnel, not so much Eckler.
Right. And we did get the kickoff that went short, bounced back, and we got it. But we really got it. It was awesome.
It was amazing.
And then we only got 3 points. Then we only got 3 points, and in games like that, that's the difference. Like, that's what, like, you watch games on Saturday, which I didn't watch much, but teams capitalize on that. They score touchdowns.
Yes.
They get in the red zone, they score touchdowns. We don't.
No.
We have to go 70 yards on an EJ run to get down to the 1 and still have to run it 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
Like we did that all year. We've done that for years. We don't just, hey, they give you a gift, boom, you run it down their throat and you score a touchdown on the first play.
Yeah. Doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
So those are the changes I want to see. I want Donovan gone. I want Butler either gone or as a position coach. We need to pay some money for a D coordinator who knows what the hell they're doing in the Big Ten.
Okay.
In the Big Ten. Who was Leonard from Wisconsin? He was the D coordinator there. Like, man, where's he at?
I'm not sure.
Wherever he's at, bring him in. Like, he knew what to do at Wisconsin. Bring him to Nebraska. I want that guy. He's a young D coordinator. I don't know if he's still a D coordinator somewhere. I'd have to look it up, but give the guy a shot to come and make a difference in Nebraska, because that guy, I think, can turn that defense around. Because he knows how to do it in the Big Ten. Like, we need somebody with experience in the Big Ten that can come in and immediately have an impact.
Tony White, he brought something a little different, and every play was kind of different wrinkles. After a season of that, teams were able to watch enough film to pick up on cues and stuff. So last year, our defense was still good. They just weren't as good, I didn't think, as the year before. Now you bring in Butler, who's never been a D coordinator in college football that I don't
Just
believe.
a position coach, yeah.
And so it's like, what are we doing?
And NFL is very different than college.
It is, especially regionally, conference to conference.
But it's like he came in and just didn't change anything.
Yeah.
And then again,
And sure, like we had great pass D, but how many sacks did we get this season on D?
there were so many times, so many games we had 0 sacks.
And I know that
And
you know
0 pressures.
in the game this weekend, or Friday in the Iowa game, we did get pressure. Gronowski obviously can move a little bit, so he was able to sidestep a couple guys. Sierra Wright had him freaking point blank on a blitz, and he sidestepped him. And I know Sierra Wright came out after and said, it was my worst game of the season. He did. He got beat one time, which was unusual because you didn't see that all season. Yeah. And then, he had that miss on the blitz where it should have been a sack, and that led to another touchdown. And it's like, our DBs are really good, as far as pass D goes. But even then, when you get no pressure on the quarterback, then people are like, oh, I thought you had such good pass D. They can only do so much for so long.
Yeah. Between no pressure and no sacks, like when you got guys that aren't getting to the quarterback, and that's again, the difference you see across college football is, to go so many games throughout a 12-game season where in those games you had no sacks, like that's bad. And that's again, that goes back to not just the players on the field. I think it's more coaching than it is anything else. I do think our defense is a little soft too. I think we still have some youth.
Undersized.
We need to get bigger. We need to get stronger. We need to get faster. There's things that we need to do from a coaching perspective. And it's not always just about the strength. It's about technique. And how are we hitting the hole when the hole's there and the guy's running through it? Are we waiting for that? I feel like we wait for the guys to come to us a lot. So they're making the first move. And by then, we're already screwed. Like, we lost. If we're letting them make the first move, we lost. So many times, instead of just going and hitting them in the hole, we're standing there waiting for them. So we're waiting, and they get to the hole, and then it's like, whoa, they juked the shit out of it. Well, yeah, you're standing on your toes or heels, like you're not ready for it.
And I saw a thing somebody said during the stretch of the game where, like, I've never seen so many times where like Nebraska will roll out, and like either the quarterback doesn't have an opportunity to run, but then either has to throw it away or throws into traffic or doesn't complete a pass. Whereas it seems like every time other teams' quarterbacks roll out, and maybe it was escape, because there's times when we had Gronowski, especially dead to rights, but he gets out of that, and then he can either run or he can hit an open receiver. We can't do either.
Well, and a lot of times there's 2 or 3 wide receivers that have options or tight end.
And I think it was mostly it was tight end.
Oh my God.
You talked about it every show.
I don't even want to talk about
8 years.
because again, we didn't use our Harburg and Henry, they just didn't touch the ball. Luke didn't touch the we got good tight ends. We've had good tight ends for a long time. We don't use them.
I don't get it.
And it's like those rollouts are good opportunities to have a tight end as your first option, and then have a guy at the second level, and we don't do it. And it's like, what kind of routes are we running on the offense? That's why I question Dana a lot. Like, is Dana the future offense coordinator of this team? Because I got a lot of questions on him too.
And I do as well. And O-line may have played a factor. Like, sure, we've had injuries. Every team has injuries, though. But it's when Iowa has the ball and they score, and then the second half starts. Well, don't even get me started at the end of the first half. But then they get the ball, and then they go on a long drive and score, and then it's like, okay, our offense hasn't been out there forever, right? We go out and we do like one run play to EJ, which they know we're gonna do, and then we do 2, broken play, throwaways, incomplete, a 3 and out, and then they have the ball again for like 5 minutes. It's like, then when we get out there, it's like, what are we supposed to do? Now you're down by 17 points. Yeah. And they know that our only game is the run game. TJ's hobbling around. So I don't really know what you do in that point, but it just consistently, we weren't finding tight ends throughout the whole season. It seemed like our best pass play was the screen to Hunter that went for a couple long touchdowns.
Yes.
We never really had much of a deep threat all season.
No. Every team stacked the box against us because they knew good luck beating the deep.
Yeah, and EJ still beat him. So that just goes to show how really good he was.
Yes, 100%.
I just want to see something different.
Yeah.
On both sides, really.
Yeah. We got...
Minus the run game. I mean, I will take EJ. or somebody like that again.
Well, and we still got a
backfield.
good running back room. We got another running back we got committed. So,
Yeah.
I want to start winning games and not just one more game a year. Go 5-7, 6-6, 7-5. Like I said at the beginning of the year, 7-5, not a successful season. To me, that's not success.
Not with this schedule.
Because next year gets much harder.
Yeah, and I mean, if we go 7-5 next year, for one, I'd be surprised. And if we do, I would say that'd probably be more of a success than this year.
100%. But we gotta see the big jump on the offensive side of the ball. We gotta see a big jump on the defensive side of the ball, and we gotta see coaching get a hell of a lot better. And I saw someone post like, "Hey, like people need to calm down on the defense. We were still 21st in the country." Well, yeah, because our first 3 games, our first 3 games in Michigan State and Maryland, was it Maryland?
Yeah, but both those teams took leads on us.
Yeah, but like those 5
Those
games
teams are
are
terrible.
that's the reason why. Because those 5 games, the other 7 games, we gave up way too many yards.
Honestly, one of the best games I think we played this year was probably Northwestern, because that was a better team than some of those teams that we beat. I mean, really, that was probably our more complete game than I even thought at the time.
Agreed.
Because Michigan State's terrible, Maryland was terrible. I gave props to their quarterback because I thought he played pretty good.
Yeah.
They weren't very good. I mean, a lot of the games that we won this year, teams were not very good.
Yeah.
Northwestern was probably one of our better wins, really.
Agreed.
So,
Which is sad to say.
it is.
So again, changes need to happen. I know everyone's gonna be watching to see, when's Donovan's got to go. If Donovan's not the first domino to fall from this coaching staff, I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Raiola, there's been a lot of chatter, a lot of rumors about Dylan, and Nebraska's need to figure out what they're gonna do because Dylan's gonna transfer. Like, this started off by some random podcaster coming up with this idea that he's hitting the portal, and because Dayton decommitted. But it was like a week and a half later when this started coming out about Dylan, which we talked about it. Like, yeah, you got to prepare that that's a possibility.
Literally every single player.
Yeah, but then CBS picks it up. All these news outlets pick it up, and now it's all over the media. Like, hey, he's leaving. I don't buy it because until you hear it from him, like, you just can't believe those rumors. And again, if he leaves, yeah, we got to figure out something out. We got to hit the portal. TJ's got to get a hell of a lot better. Like, we have to have options. I don't think TJ's getting picked up anymore. I mean,
we talked about it a couple weeks ago. We said we'll see how these last few games go. He had a great game against UCLA. They have terrible defense.
Yes.
We got kind of manhandled the last 2 games. It's not necessarily on him. And again, he was a little hobbled, but he's not.
He's not showing I'm a starting quarterback right now. He's got a lot of.
Not without really good players around him.
Yeah, a lot of massaging, if you will. He needs a lot of
I like him.
help.
I have liked him all season.
I think he still could be a really good quarterback.
He's a freshman.
He's got some work to do. So
it's almost a bummer that Dylan didn't play out the season and that he could have redshirted, and then something happened. Then you see what he's got. But now he's got some experience.
Yeah,
he's played in some tough games. He's played in some tough environments, cold, tough teams.
Goes to UCLA, goes to Penn State,
yeah,
and
then plays Iowa at home in a tough one. So maybe he's better for it. I'm sure he is.
Yeah,
and will be. But right now I'd say both those guys are coming back. I don't see why they wouldn't.
I don't.
It's a battle for a quarterback position next year. It's gonna be a battle if you go somewhere else. I think at this point.
Okay.
I mean, Dylan maybe could go. I don't know though. They'll come back from broken leg. You never know.
And yeah, he was good. He was okay this year, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
So I don't see him going anywhere. I really don't. Nebraska's paying him. He's paying him well.
They're making like $3.5 million.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah. And from what I heard, he's getting paid more each year. He stays. So
okay.
Unless someone's coming offering him a bag that he can't refuse, I just don't.
Miami.
And I don't see that happening. Like I don't see someone looking at Dylan and be like, he's going to get us to the playoffs if he's our missing piece. I don't see that from any team's perspective that has a playoff opportunity. Like, and that's just my point of view.
I don't know.
Not that he's a bad quarterback.
Some of those teams have quarterbacks that are going to be gone. Like Miami does, but
we'll see.
They can also go get anybody. So they really could. So
we'll see. All right, I don't want to talk about Nebraska football anymore. I'm kind of sick of it. So let's talk about the playoffs, because right now we had some pretty good games yesterday. It was actually kind of fun.
Between Friday and yesterday.
Yeah, Ole Miss takes Mississippi State. Utah got a dub. Really, the only team that lost in the current top 12 was A&M to Texas. Now, Texas, you got 3 losses. You're not in. I don't care if you beat A&M. I don't care who else you beat.
Oklahoma. You
can say I beat 3 top 10 teams, and we're the only team to do that. Blah 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 blah. You lost to Florida. You had a bad loss as well. You had 3 losses. You're not getting in it. Bama didn't get in with 3 losses. Texas, you ain't getting in with 3 losses. Because every team ahead of you in the top 12 is better than you and deserves
they
it.
They have a better record. And I know a lot of them said, well, if they would have played you can't punish them. If they would have played a cupcake week 1 or played Ohio Bobcats instead of Ohio State, then they'd be 10-2. They'd be in the playoff.
Beat Ohio State.
Sure, don't lose to Florida then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing. Yeah. I saw another thing. Somebody said, Alabama was pissed last year. Don't lose to Oklahoma last year.
Yes.
That's what cost them.
It is that simple.
Should they have probably been in last year over SMU? Yeah.
I think we talked about this last year.
But they didn't.
You have to earn it. It's not a deserved, or this team might be the best team. You have to earn it in the regular season by being one of the best teams throughout the year, play a complete game, and at the end of the year, you have to have a better record. Like, it is not, we think this team's a little bit better, so are you going to put Michigan in over BYU because you think Michigan's a little bit better than BYU, but they have 3 losses? Right. You can't do that. It's the same thing with Texas. Yeah, you're SEC, blah, blah, blah. No one gives a shit that you're SEC. It doesn't matter. SEC, strength of schedule, they say strength of schedule because all these rankings that's done by ESPN, and yeah, they put all these SEC teams in the top 25 for strength of schedule. So, hey,
continuously put them in even when they have 3 losses.
So I won this game, and so my strength of schedule is harder than the Big Ten or whatever. Big Ten and the SEC are the best conferences in college football, the hardest conferences in college football. They are head to toe, right? They're the same conference, just different style of football. Mm-hmm. But I would put any team, not any team, but the first 6 teams or maybe 8 teams in the Big Ten up against Vandy, and the first 8 teams in the SEC up against any team in the Big Ten. 8 versus 8, I bet we win at least 50%.
At least 50%. I agree.
So I think we're about the same as far as strength of schedule, but I don't see how you can say again a 3-loss team deserves to get in.
The only time that has ever played out that way was when Florida State was undefeated. It was a down year for a lot of schools. It was only a 14 playoff.
Yep.
Alabama got in with a loss because Florida State lost their quarterback.
Yes.
That is the thing. So, going off of that, if Lane Kiffin takes this LSU job, like everybody's saying, does that play a factor in LSU or in Ole Miss's playoff?
Right.
Like, if he leaves and the rest of their coaches leave,
right?
Because they're not going to be coaching them. Then what? Or maybe not all the coaches are going to leave, but however many of them leave.
Do you leave them
out?
out?
What does that do for that?
Yeah.
Because that team could go with whatever coaches they have and whatever players they have, which should be all of them, but and they could just get worked because they don't have coaches. They don't have a head coach and whatever position coaches and
apparently they said the D coordinator is projected to take over the interim head coaching job without Lane. But again, what if you lose a lot of your players because Lane leaves, and now you're talking about the portal, and when the portal opens, and when you have to make a decision on next year, like you have absolutely Florida State got screwed. They should have been in the playoff. And so now are you going to punish it, and now you're going to punish another team because their head coach left? What's the difference? Starting quarterback, head coach, those are big pieces to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Texas is the highest ranked 3-loss team.
Of course.
Virginia and Utah are behind them. James Madison's 11-1. North Texas is 11-1. Tulane's 10-2. Navy never is going to have a shot to get it. But
Virginia is 10-2, and they're playing 7-5 Duke for the ACC championship.
Yes.
How crazy is that?
So they're trying to win the ACC and be 11-2, but that's not an auto bid for them to be in. But do you have to start?
I think it is.
I don't know if they're doing auto bids this year for conference championships, though.
Maybe you're right.
But
I thought maybe it was just they didn't have to be top conference champs weren't top 4.
Yeah.
Automatically.
But they still have an opportunity. So again, Virginia could get in.
I don't. Well, yeah, I guess I don't know all the rules.
We'll see what happens.
They have changes.
I can't remember. For some reason, I thought there was a change to where it wasn't an automatic bid. But again, if Virginia gets in, then you're looking at some of the teams potentially on the outside looking in, and this is just the AP. You're looking at potentially Miami, BYU, or Vandy would be the 3 that would be looking to maybe be bounced out. Right now, Vandy's 13 in the AP.
Right, but at this point, you don't have a Group of 5 team in that top 12. So where are the CFP rankings from last week?
Let's see. I'll have to look it up.
That's okay. No, I'm just.
Is it on here?
I don't know if that goes to it there or not, but no, I'm very curious. You know, like I said, I went down a rabbit hole yesterday after I saw a bunch of this Texas stuff, and I was like, you know, Miami and Notre Dame have the same record. Miami beat Notre Dame. Is Notre Dame better than Miami right now? Probably.
Yeah.
And I know that metrics, you know, a lot of comments I've seen have been, well, they played common opponents and Notre Dame, you know, rolled all the teams up. Miami beat them. And yes, they beat them by 3. And it was the first game of the season.
Yeah.
They have the same record. Head-to-head has to matter, in my opinion.
I mean, to me, both those teams, yeah.
They probably should be. If it came down to it, I think they'd probably leave Miami out and take Notre Dame just off of bias.
Yeah.
I think. But let's see how that plays out. Who's even in the SEC championship?
Bama and Georgia.
Okay. So, obviously, if Alabama loses that game, they punish them and 3 losses, and are they out?
So check this out. This was below. So this is the full rankings as well as the bracket, including buys and first round matchups. So this is what they're thinking right now.
Well, this must have been
Before this weekend.
Yeah.
But what it was before was Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, and Bama get the top 4 seeds.
Oh. Okay.
Well, here's top 25.
Oh, Alabama was 4th. This
can't be right.
No, that was another one. That was another one. I was gonna say Bama was like 10th, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, this was 26 days ago. ESPN,
What are you doing?
doing?
I don't know. I think it's. And another thing I saw was somebody commented. Let me pull it up because they said that these 7 SEC teams need to be in, or the system is rigged, and that they should leave. That SEC should go off on their own if that doesn't happen. So have their own 12-team playoff where 8 SEC teams make it, and they'll invite 4 others. And I was like, oh, okay.
So here's what could happen: is you might get North Texas in, and Tulane, and Virginia. Those 3 teams have an opportunity, or North Texas or Tulane,
Right.
and Virginia as a potential 11 seed. So you're looking at a team like Vandy and Miami potentially being knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
That will get very interesting to see what they decide to do, because I think this might, again, I don't like the 12 team. I really don't.
I never did.
And it's funny because last year everyone's like, oh, 4 teams would have been better. We only have 4 good teams. Well, you're the ones that probably wanted 12 teams in the first place. So now we got way too many teams coming in.
And that's the thing. These people that are like 7 SEC teams need to make it. We really need to change it to a 16. Well, then somebody's not going to be happy at 16, and they're going to say it needs to go to 20.
It's going to happen every year. And then you're going to want 10 SEC teams in there.
I mean, I've always thought it should have been 8, 5 conference champs. You win a conference championship, you are automatically in.
3 at large.
And then a group of 5 and 2 at larges, or however you want to do that.
Yep.
Then there's no buys. Everybody plays the same amount of games. Because, I mean, yeah, sure, you should be rewarded, I guess, for being the top 4 if it's a 12 team.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, why don't we just have it be a tournament where everybody plays the same amount of games? I mean, if you keep winning, then everybody's going to have played the same amount of games. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things that can happen. So I'm excited to see how it's going to play out.
Well, in the championship games,
Somebody's going to be pissed.
There's
There's
championship games
multiple
next
teams
week.
that are pissed. Multiple schools, multiple conferences that are pissed.
Next week's a big, really big weekend for a lot of these teams where they got to win. I mean, if Bama has 3 losses, are they in?
That's what I'm saying.
If they lose to Georgia,
Well, Georgia was the SEC champ, and we beat them. Well, you play them again.
if you lose 3 games though as Bama, you might be out.
Mm-hmm.
And they barely beat Auburn. And that was 27-20. That was a tight game.
I know they're going to say it's a rivalry game, but
Doesn't matter. Now, right now they're projecting Nebraska to be at Liberty Mutual, Music City Bowl in Nashville.
okay, Nashville's fun. I'm not going to go, but it sounds
Yeah, and we either play Missouri or LSU. So, again, we're going to play an SEC team. Both those teams, absolutely, we can beat. It depends on how we
ranked
show
multiple times throughout the season.
Yep.
You know, if we do play an SEC team, does Emmett Johnson say, "Hey, I kind of want to play in that game, just play against some more SEC talent"?
Maybe.
He doesn't need to.
No, I don't think he does. And again, at this point, like I get it. There's a lot of guys that are going to say, "Hey, I want to protect my draft stock, not take a chance to get injured, or I'm just going to work my ass off to get ready for the NFL." Like, it is what it is. In the past, I wasn't a big fan of that, but
So, you know, when you texted me earlier about Lane Kiffin and we've talked about it in the past because we've kind of over the last 10 years or whatever 10 years plus we've seen a lot of changes.
Yep.
Guys sit out bowl games to protect their draft. Christian McCaffrey did that. It was like, okay, and that was a Rose Bowl. So that was kind of once that started happening. Then we're like, there's going to be guys that probably end up sitting out playoff games because they don't want to lose out on money. Haven't really seen that yet. But you got a coach that's going to the playoff that's leaving. Like, what's next?
Yeah.
What's the next thing that happens?
Yeah.
I mean, when we've talked about it, like, oh man, that's crazy. I can't believe that's happening. That's like nothing.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing
just normal.
a head coach of a top 8 team, top 6 team, really,
Yeah.
that's going to jump ship to a team that was 7-5.
Yeah. 100%.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. So we'll
I don't know
see.
what's next.
We'll see what happens with the rankings on Tuesday.
Yeah, that can tell a little bit, bring the picture a little bit clearer as to what they want, what their feel, what the vibe is, depending on what the weekend looks like.
Yep, a little bit. And, Texas beat A&M. How far are they actually going to move them up in the playoff?
How far is A&M going to drop? Because I've seen...
I think A&M maybe drops to 7, 8.
Yeah.
At most, they're still a one-loss team.
They are, but I've seen a bunch of, they're 7-1 in SEC play, but 7 of their wins were to the bottom 8 of their conference.
Doesn't matter.
All of a sudden, wins were in the bottom 8. None of those teams were ranked.
Look at Ohio State. They were undefeated. Who'd they play?
Yeah, that's true.
It's the same thing. And Michigan was the toughest game. And anybody that thought Michigan had a chance to win that game yesterday didn't watch Michigan at all this year.
No.
I knew they were going to lose that game. No chance.
And I didn't watch it. I shoveled for quite a while. It sucked. And I got crazy kids upstairs. But when I checked the stats, I said, I bet Bryce Underwood has less than 100 yards. And he had like 42 passing yards. And I'm like, yeah, people that thought that they were going to win this year, yeah, sure, maybe in the last 5 that Michigan won. I didn't think that they were going to win majority of the time, but I knew they weren't going to win yesterday.
And it was 27-9. It really was a dominating fashion by Ohio State. And people are like, oh, A&M got smacked around by Texas. They lost by 10. They didn't absolutely dominate A&M, so it wasn't a big loss. So I don't think they dropped very far. I think maybe 6, 7 at most. Again, if they drop them completely out of the playoff,
No, they won't.
that'd be BS.
They had one kind of old school rivalry
Yep.
loss last rivalry week.
Yeah, it's just not a big deal.
No.
Neither one.
And
of
they
those-
beat Notre Dame.
Yes. So that's big for them. So they're in. And I just don't.
I'm just curious where their seeding will be.
Yeah, I don't think.
It's kind of a bad time for them to lose. It's almost like they would have been better off losing by 1 point to Notre Dame and then winning the rest.
True.
They'd probably be in a better. Well, same record, but they'd be in a better spot.
Yeah, I don't think, if you look at the top 12 right now in the AP, Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Oregon, Texas Tech, Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Bama, BYU, Miami. Those are the top 12.
So they dropped A&M 4 spots.
Yeah.
That
So-
sounds about right.
So, and that's where I was thinking they'd probably drop them about 4 spots. So, which is fair. But if I'm looking at this right now, I think the teams that are, again, potentially going to get knocked out if North Texas wins their championship game, if Tulane was, it's going to be North Texas or Tulane, I think, if they win this upcoming weekend. But then you're also looking at Virginia. If 2 of those 3 teams get in, you're looking at potentially Miami and Vandy being knocked out.
I mean, I think Vandy's out.
I think they are too.
And I mean, which is a shame because.
Or sorry, Miami and potentially BYU.
Yeah,
They
well,
talked about BYU.
BYU and Utah are playing. BYU and Utah are playing for the Big 12 championship.
Yep.
Which is kind of interesting.
Very
you know,
interesting.
both those teams were Mountain West teams. However many years ago it was, but and they were rivals because they were from the same state. But
Yep.
BYU has a loss to Texas Tech, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they're playing Texas Tech.
They're playing Texas Tech.
They're
yeah.
playing Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So BYU beats Texas
BYU
Tech.
and Texas Tech.
Both those teams are probably in.
Both those teams would have 1 loss. 2
Texas Tech
losses.
would have 2,
Oh, yeah.
and BYU would have 1.
Okay.
So, but I don't think Texas Tech gets knocked out.
No, they're not out. I don't think.
Miami is the one that's going to be out. If Bama loses with 3 losses, Bama's out.
That's shitty.
And
For
then
them,
you bring
because
in.
You're talking about other teams in your conference that didn't do well enough to make the conference championship, and you might lose and play your way out.
But again, 3 losses.
Agreed.
So
That Florida State loss is haunting them.
it's huge. That's a bad loss.
That's a really bad loss. Florida State went 5-7.
Yes, it's a really bad loss. So again, Bama's at 10 in the AP for a reason, because they do have 2 losses. They lose, they're out. You can't let them in with 3 losses, and you're going to put in North Texas, you're going to put in Tulane, you're going to put in Virginia. Like, those teams have an opportunity to come in. So Miami and Bama, you might be out. But we'll see. We never know. College football playoff committee, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
But I think this Tuesday, yes, we'll get a little bit of a clearer picture of where those teams sit. But also, where are they going to put Virginia? Where are they going to have North Texas? Where are those 2 teams sitting before going into their championship game? That's a huge deal.
And really, from North Texas, it's where Tulane is too, because it's only going to be one of them. It's not going to be both.
It's not going to be both.
So, I think North Texas has 1 loss and Tulane has 2. They might have had a tougher schedule. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just be for that room to decide.
Give me the mean green.
Yeah.
The mean green.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. All right. Man, I got a whole lot left to talk about. Again, Nebraska football, poo-poo. Not happy about the season. Not happy about the way it shook out. Getting slammed by Minnesota was a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean that maybe should have been the biggest wake up call that and it was for us. I'm like, man, some of these games might not go very well after that Minnesota game.
Yeah.
We turned it back around a little bit, but a little bit. I mean, that's a good point actually that you said Minnesota, because I was thinking about it earlier. Between Minnesota, Penn State, and Iowa, those schools typically play. Yeah, they play Big Ten football, right? But their big boys up front, they push you around, they run the ball, they play good defense.
Yep.
Those 3 teams blew us out.
Yep.
That's the style of football that we want to play.
And they won those games because they won in the trenches.
Yep.
And we are not winning the trenches.
And sure, we had our moments, and a couple of them maybe, early on, but they just wore us down. Like I saw somebody that said, "Man, all you Huskies," I'm sure it was an Iowa fan.
Yeah.
Man, you guys really talk about the 90s, but you sure would like to, I can't remember how he worded it, but you know that we beat you the way that you guys played in the 90s, right? And it's like, yeah. I mean, we...
In a sense, yeah.
In a sense. I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And it took Iowa a little while to get to their game, but once they did, it's like, oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
you can see it, and being at the game, it's like, well, this is it.
I know, and I said to you, I mean... The 13-10 walk-off field goal loss, that really hurts. Makes me angry, mad. The games like that, which I can remember. I think it was 2015 or 2016. I think it was 2015.
Yeah.
Iowa just, or maybe it was 2016 because I think Tommy Armstrong might have gotten hurt and Riker Fife played and we lost like 52 to 14 or
That
something.
was a 93 season.
That might have been it. Those games, those blowout losses to Iowa, they're just sad.
They're sad
because it's like they shouldn't be that. Like talent wise, we are better than them.
We're skill guys, 100%.
Like skill position guys, we are better than them. And when they beat us down like that, it's just sad.
Yeah, 100%.
The other ones just make me mad. Like we're one play away, 1 or 2 plays away from winning that game. When you get blown out like that, it's just
sad.
Yeah, and I turned it off 2 weeks in a row. I turned it off at the end of the third quarter this week. I don't think I've ever done that.
The amount of people leaving.
Oh yeah.
In the second half, before the third quarter was over, and then at the third quarter. That's why I'm like,
it was cold. It was snowy.
That's why I'm like, I'm
driving back home.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Let's see what we do in the bowl game. Let's see what kind of decisions are made over the next couple of weeks from players, coaches. Like, thank you, seniors, because we had a lot of guys that have been here 4 or 5 years now. Harvard, thank you for your dedication to the team.
Yeah, not leaving and changing positions and playing quarterback when we needed you to.
Sticking it out.
I mean, you got props to you, bro.
You're dating Harvard Murray, so why would you go?
Why would you leave? Because I think she makes like Dylan Arella money.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, sponsored by Adidas. Oh yeah. Yeah. So, but again, that's heads up as fans. This is nothing new to us. We get it.
I just wish it didn't. I wish it wasn't that way.
We'll be Husker fans next year and tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
well,
next month.
Let's see. I mean, they even say for every school. I think they were saying like they talked to Kirk Ferentz, the announcers. I think were saying we talked to him this week and they were talking about trying to get grasp on like some of the guys like going somewhere like at the end of the season. The guys gonna train. He's like, I have to like talk to my guys like every week.
Yeah.
Because there's people talking to them.
No, they're getting phone calls.
And so, where do some guys end up? Who do we get on the flip side of that?
Yep.
Who leaves? That's like, oh dang, I didn't see that happening. It's bound to happen. It always does.
Well, because people are calling your guys, but you're also calling other people's guys.
Oh, 100%.
Because if you're not, you're behind the game.
They said, I was listening to somebody this week, and they're like, everybody in Nebraska thinks like, oh, Nebraska nice. Like people come here and they think like, or they always say like, oh, your fans are great. Like we had a really good experience there. Our coaches are doing what other coaches are doing.
Oh yeah.
Or they're not.
They're behind the eight ball.
Yes.
We have to.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're going after the right guys, offensive, defensive line. Yes, we need skill players on the team, but if we're not winning the trenches, again, next year 5 and 7.
And you know what? We've said it for years, or at least I have. I'm always like, oh man, I don't want this guy to go. Like, he's really good. Or, oh man, he's like one of our better players in that position group.
Yeah.
We have not, we won 7 games this year. This is the most we've won in 10 years. So if we get a whole new roster, okay. I mean, I don't know. Like, sure, there's guys that, like, I mean, I like a lot of the players. I'm not saying, like, okay, see you guys, pull a Dion. But, I mean, EJ, obviously, would love to have him back. He's probably not coming back. Yeah, sure, quarterbacks, like, we need a core group of guys, but every school has different players coming and going every year. Quarterbacks.
Yeah.
See you play for 3 different schools. It's crazy.
But, but you gotta have some guys that are core guys, otherwise they do end up like 3 and 9 prime.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I'm just saying the team is probably going to look a lot different if your favorite player leaves. It sucks, but we might get somebody better than that.
Absolutely.
Because we've only won 7 games as a max over the last 10 years, so we need something different. I guess is my point.
All right, man.
All right.
I'm done for today. I want to go relax for a little while, watch some NFL. Also, Eagles suck it.
Also, Chiefs
suck it. How about them Cowboys?
Oh, that's funny. Cowboys have turned it around, man.
Heck,
And the Bucks are not. Bucks are, I don't know, that's how they were 1.5.
Chiefs aren't even going to make the postseason this year. They're
crazy.
6-6. There's no way. There's no way.
That's crazy.
And it's great. And I'm not even a Chiefs hater, but
no, I'm not.
I'm happy that my Cowboys won. So
I just, NFL's crazy this year too.
It's nuts. It's been some really boring games, but also some exciting games too. So
yeah.
All right, guys, checking out. I'm Matt.
I'm Jimmy.
We are 2 Average Guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and as always, go Red.
Come on, good game, everybody, yeah.
Pat, I think it's safe to say that all these fans came out here to watch a game of football.
John, ring commercial.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making conversation. Come on, football!
Come a-running, boys, don't you hear the noise? Like the thunder in the sky. How it rolls along in a good old song from the sons of Nebraska. Now it's coming near with a rising cheer that'll sweep all foes away. So with all our vim, we're about to win, and we're going to win today. In the days of old, Johnny Vanderbold would just take that ball in hand, and with Benedict right in front of him, they would set sail for the land. Then Doc Eager too, with a chosen few, would be all round everywhere. And before they'd quit, they would calmly sit down behind